Good morning, everyone. Welcome to KPC, and welcome to everyone who's joining us online. This morning we have Atira, Zeoli, Jetsma's daughter. Jetsma is our teacher at Dharma, and she has ordained Atira to be her teacher.
Not ordained.
Okay. She'll be teaching us this morning and offering a meditation as well. And at the very end, we'll do a Chenrezig practice. It's very short, and we'll have cards that you can follow along. So thank you all for joining us this morning.
Thanks. Do 7-line prayer? Are you leading 7-line prayer? Okay. Organ yogi num jamsam emage sardompola yatsen chogi ngorugne Pemajongne Jesurak Portukandro Mangbogor Ketki Jesudak Drupki Jinjilok Chir Shek Suso Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Nodrugne Pemajongne Jesura Ordukandro Mangbogor Ketki Jesudak Drupki Jinjilop Chir Shek Suso Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Nodrugne Pemajongne Jesurak Portukandro Mangbogor Ketki Jesudak Drupki Jinjilop Chir Shek Suso Guru Pema Siddhi Home. Welcome everyone. Welcome today. Thank you for being here. So today's class is going to be on stabilizing the mind. And this technique is based on Jetsma's teaching of this technique. This is her book, Stabilizing the Mind. If you're interested in learning about meditation, this is an excellent primer and great way to begin is reading this book. And this is what I'm teaching from today. So this technique of stabilizing the mind is a very simple practice. All we do is we rest our attention on the breath. And when we notice that our mind has wandered, we return our attention to the breath. It's really simple. And it is relaxing and healing and profoundly transformational. Meditating in this way creates space in the mind. And what does it mean to create space in the mind? You might have noticed that you have a cyclical pattern in your life, alternating between phases that are more active, aggressive, or objective, and then phases that are more inactive, passive, or subjective. And when you have a more active or aggressive phase in your life, a phase in which there's a lot of visible movement going on in your life, you just can't stop. You can't pause to look at your mind and look at your habits. You're just so caught up in your life, you're kind of in a trance. It's like being fixated on the TV where you can't pull your eyes away. And even if someone is like stopping to talk to you, you're like, huh, yeah, well, yeah, whatever. Okay, and just keep watching. So we're kind of like that with our lives. We just are so entranced by them when we're in these active phases. Everything's moving so fast, and we just go along with it. And we have a habit of not being able to break away from that trance. We just can't stop in the middle of it. During that active phase, we allow ourselves to just roll with whatever comes along. And this is when we usually get the most unstable and make our worst mistakes. Then when that cycle is over, whether that's 10 minutes or an hour or a day or more, we may wake up and kind of wonder, like, geez, where have I been this whole time? I've been really busy, but I've been off in La La Land somewhere. Like, where have I been? And then our own way, we kind of come home like a pigeon. And we have this period of inactivity or a period of, there's kind of an inward feeling in this more passive stage. And Jetsama says, at that time, it is relatively easy to stop and look at how we've been thinking, what we did was wrong, what we did that was right, and how it all relates to our practice. But it's extremely difficult to use that process of introspection when we're in the middle of an active or aggressive phase. We just can't pull ourselves away from the TV. And that skill is difficult to master because in order to have that skill, we have to have a little bit of space in the mind. So everything that we experience now is the result of karmic seeds that we have planted in the past. And the seeds that we are planting now will grow into the fruit of our future experience. Jetsama says, both the cause and the effect, or the phenomenon that results from the cause, takes place within our mind. When there is spaciousness, there is a moment's pause between them, so that we can connect the fact that effect is the result of cause. We can connect those dots when we have some spaciousness in our mind. And most of us, during those passive introspective phases, we have enough space in our mind that we can look and see cause and effect in our lives. We can see that playing out in our lives. And the fact that we know cause and effect to the extent that we do shows that we have some spaciousness in our minds already. The challenge is that we have to learn how to break out of the trance when we are in that active or aggressive phase, so that we can really have space at all times in our life. And why is that important? Why is it important to be able to have space at all moments of your life? Well, one very practical reason is that we can die at any moment. We don't know how long we'll live. We know that everyone dies. Death can be surprising. You can have a plane could fall out of the sky, a sinkhole could open up, we could have an unexpected aneurysm or heart attack or, a car accident. These things happen, and they happen to people we know. We never think that they'll happen to us. And we always hope for the best, that when we die, we probably have a picture in our head of maybe being surrounded by loved ones and having a very peaceful passing and getting to do our poa practice and all of this stuff that we have these ideas of, but we don't know how it will play out. We don't know when that moment will come and what will be happening and what our state of mind will be. Like, what if we're, you could die in a moment of extreme anger. You could be like yelling at a loved one on the phone and so upset and, right at that moment. And how much space do you have in your mind then? Or, you could be in the throes of grief or in a alcoholic spiral or in, any number of different mind states. And or you could die oblivious in your sleep. You have no idea that you'd even died right away. So if you want the spaciousness of mind that provides the opportunity to do any of the things that we're supposed to do at the time of death, you must develop the habit of putting some spaciousness in your mind now. Another reason is that we need to begin to disengage some of the habitual tendencies that are associated with samsara or cyclic existence. So many of us are planning to do this someday. We fully intend to rid our minds of hatred, greed, and ignorance someday. Just not today, because we have a lot of stuff on our agenda. Jetsama says, we may think we are working toward it now, but we have really decided that we won't practice seriously until sometime later. And so basically, we are content to live with hatred, greed, and ignorance. In other words, we let ourselves get away with murder. We let ourselves get away with temper tantrums, pride, and arrogance. So even though we are continually practicing Dharma, we might be going to soak practices or doing our nundro or meditating or we're doing practices. At the same time, if we're not abandoning these habits, we are incurring more and more negative karma through these habits that we fail to address. So we're working against ourselves. We're kind of going like one step forward and hopefully just one step back, maybe more. Depends on what our habits are. But we're kind of spinning our wheels. Our efforts aren't useless. We're still doing good things with our Dharma practice, and we are adopting positive qualities, and we are doing wonderful things. Our efforts aren't useless, but they're not terribly productive either, because we're still we're just digging out dirt underneath ourselves with all of this negative karma that we're accruing through these habits. So this is another reason why we need space in our minds, is to aid our practice. Many of us are putting a lot of time into practice. And if we want that practice, if we want that time to be productive and useful, if we want to get the most we possibly can out of our practice, then we have to have the mental spaciousness to work with our negative habits. We have to be able to have the spaciousness to step back in a moment of reactivity, to step back from our emotional reactivity and go, oh, that's my habit of hatred. Oh, that's my habit of desire right now, you have to be able to step back and see it. And then you can work with it. But if you're so caught up with it, you don't even notice it. You allow yourself to be in la la land all the time, just swept up in it. You can't work with those habits. And the goal of our practice is to rid the mind of desire. So Jetsama says that we should ask ourselves, is it logical to exist comfortably with our desire, our pride, our hatred, our greed, and our ignorance without trying to do something about it now? We can't get rid of desire or pride or anger if we don't have enough stability or spaciousness to look at what's in our minds, to see how we are acting and what will come from that. We need a little space to be able to do that. And without that spaciousness, we become the kind of person who says oh, I always get greedy like that. I'm just compulsive that way. Or I can't help it. I always get angry. That's just how I am. I always get angry. It's how I am, And when you say I always do that, or I can't help it, that's saying that you are comfortable with your behavior and you are willing to live that way. That's a choice. And Jetsama says, that attitude does not accomplish anything a practitioner wants to do. Once we have adopted the goals of Buddhism and are working on the path to enlightenment, it does not make any sense to coexist with these faults comfortably and to let them be. And so we have to do something about ourselves. So this is why it's so important to stabilize the mind. It's important to know why we need to stabilize the mind, because you won't Most people are not going to meditate for fun. It's boring. It's boring to sit with your breath. And it's really hard to look at your own mind. And it's really hard to just to sit there with yourself. And so if you don't have a good reason to do it, you're not going to keep it up. You're not going to do it. And when you're in meditation and you're getting bored and you're getting sleepy and you're like, oh, I could be doing something else right now, or like, now's a good time for a nap. You have to remember your reasons for doing that. You have to come back to your compassionate reason, your bodhicitta reason, that you are here to tame your mind so that you can be of benefit to all sentient beings. And nothing's more important than that. Your grocery shopping's not more important than that. Your email you have to send is not more important than that. Even, whatever urgent thoughts to come up, I forgot I left the iron on, whatever thoughts your mind tries to distract you with. Like, you have to remember that right now, this is the most important thing, is staying with my breath. There are these Zen monks. I read about this a long time ago, but there are these Zen monks that part of their practice is they're the running monks, and they live in this like mountain hermitage. I think it's in Japan, and they every morning at like 4 a.m. they wake up and they go on this really intense run through the mountains, and with them they bring like a rope and a knife or something like that, and they commit that if they don't complete this run, they will kill themselves. And so they don't. They complete the run. They get back there. But that is the stakes that they say. They bring the knife with them. And they say, like, I am committing. I will do this. And this is part of their practice. And this is the kind of dedication that they sit down to meditate with, is this, like, I will do this or else. Because they understand, like they say, especially in the Vajrayana, they talk about the bamboo shoot, that like once you get into the path of the Vajrayana, when you take these commitments to practice in this path, when you say, I'm going to practice in this way, then it becomes, you are either fulfilling that commitment and going up the bamboo shoot, or you are breaking that commitment and you are going down the bamboo shoot. And there's no like middle area where you kind of go off this way or that way. It's like up or down. You have to stand by that commitment when you commit. And so these monks understand that. And they understand that the preciousness of this human life and the fact that every day they're on the edge of death anyways, that they don't know if they'll wake up the next day anyways. So today is the day. They practice or they die. This is it, because they might not wake up tomorrow anyways. They get that. They put it like very front and center for themselves. So at the same time, this is a very relaxing practice. It's very healing and peaceful. It'll bring a lot of joy into your life. So this is how we do it. So the first thing that we do whenever we sit down to meditate is we establish our motivation. We always start by centering ourselves in our compassionate motivation. We generate compassion for all sentient beings. Remember that all sentient beings have at one time or another been our own kind mother. They have cared for us, and we want to repay their kindness by relieving their suffering and bringing them all to enlightenment. So we just take a moment to do that now, to give rise to bodhicitta, the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. And then we'll take a comfortable seat. So you're all already sitting down. You don't want to do this practice laying down. So you can do this on a cushion, or you can do this in a chair. And just place your hands in your lap, gently relaxed. Traditionally, in Buddhist meditation, we hold one hand in the other with the thumbs touching. But when Jetsama teaches this technique, she just says to place your hands in your lap, gently relaxed. So either way is fine. And then check in with your posture. Your spine is straight like a stack of coins. And your eyes will remain open, looking gently downwards. You can imagine a line following the bridge of your nose and extending down to the floor. And find a point along this line where it's comfortable to rest your gaze. And then place the tip of your tongue right behind your front teeth. It's like saying the letter L. And allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. It's common when we're breathing normally to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, or you might just breathe through your nose, however it feels natural to you. But just settle into your natural rhythm of breathing. If you feel tense in your breath, like you're not getting deep breaths, you can just do a big out breath. And that kind of resets your breathing so you can breathe deeply again. And then put a very light attention on your breath. Don't try to control it at all. Just breathe naturally with the most gossamer thin attention on your breath. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it, just observe it. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. As you meditate, thoughts will come up, and that's okay. When thoughts come up, just let them go like bubbles popping on the surface of a pond. Don't even look to see what they are, just let them pop. Your meditation is not lost by hearing your thoughts, but by following them down the road. So when you find yourself following a thought, just drop it and return to your breath. Drop the thought, return to your breath. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. That was our warm-up round meditation. It's a quick little 3-minute meditation. Just doing that for a few minutes every day will make such a difference in your life. Even just doing it for that long. Like, I am a terrible practitioner. I do not meditate anywhere near as much as I should. I have such a hard time being useless and like stopping, giving up all my to-do list and just being useless for a few minutes. It's so hard. That is like the hardest part of meditation for me, is getting to my cushion, just, putting down the to-do list and coming to my cushion. That is the hardest part. But even with the little bit of meditation that I've done throughout my life, I can tell you it has been more helpful than any of the therapy I've done. It's been more helpful than so many self-help books I've read. It is just the spaciousness that it opens in your mind to allow you to just sometimes step back from reaction and go, oh, I'm being a jerk right now. Oh, this is not how I want to be talking to my friend right now. Or like, oh, I am totally treating the Dharma as ordinary right now. I just was not paying attention. You just have these moments and you catch yourself. And when you have more spaciousness, you're able to catch yourself more. You're able to see it more. And then you can make different choices. And also for just like having spaciousness around, if you suffer from any kind of like depression or anxiety or anything like that, having spaciousness. Thank you for coming. Thanks for coming. Having that spaciousness in your mind, it's like sometimes those thoughts that we have that just make us miserable, if we're in such a small enclosed space with them, they take all the air out of the room, and it's just awful living in a mind with miserable thoughts. And then you have some spaciousness, and suddenly they're not so loud anymore, and they exist just in a larger space. It's like if you imagine that you're riding in a little maybe 2-seater car with like your worst enemy, and it's like awful rubbing shoulders with them the whole time, but then like it's not so bad if you're in a big football stadium. They might still be awful, but like you've got all this space. It's really not that bad. So the spaciousness really relieves our own suffering too. It helps so much. So I'll do this now for a little bit longer. If you notice anything about the way you're sitting that made that meditation difficult, you could adjust this now. Like if you want to move to a chair, or I noticed that I'm not feeling totally stable in my base because of the way of my feet were arranged. So you want to make sure that you're feeling how you're sitting on your cushion, you feel very stable in your base. So I'll do this for a little bit longer. So when we're meditating, as you're meditating, your mind's going to try to do everything it can to distract you. So if you remember that you left the iron on, or you have like the most brilliant idea you've ever had in your life, don't go grab a pencil. The way to handle this is to just disengage. Just disengage from it. Dismiss the thoughts and return to your breath. Don't try to just suppress the thoughts or argue with them. Or like, no, don't think that. Don't try to tell yourself to stop thinking or try to replace your thoughts with positive, blissful thoughts. Just let your thoughts be whatever they are. They're fine. Whatever they are is fine. And just return to your breath. Just disengage from the thought and return to your breath. And the more you do this, when your ego starts realizing that you're not listening to it, and that little chatterer feels like no one's listening, it gets louder. It gets really, really loud. And that's okay. You still just disengage and come back to the breath, and disengage and come back to the breath. And over time, as you develop more spaciousness in your mind, that yelling, chattering voice, again, like being in a football stadium, it's just quieter. It gets quieter over time. And it's kind of like, you know, usually when we're in a space, like indoor space like this, you can hear like the air coming through the vents. You don't notice it really. Occasionally you do. It makes like an air kicks on and you notice it for a second, but it's like you hear it, but it's really not drawing a lot of your attention. You know, it's there in the background. You're aware of it, but you're not like, I can hear the air coming out of the vent right now and it's doing this, you know, but that's what we do with our mind. We're always like, oh, I'm thinking this right now. Oh, I'm thinking that. I should finish this thought, you know, so we're not. Over time, as you relax that habit of being fascinated and obsessed with your thoughts, and you disengage from them and you disengage from them and you return to the breath, over time, that voice gets louder at first, and then it becomes more like the air on in the room. It's not that big of a deal. It continues to talk, but so what? You're with your breath. You're just with your breath. It doesn't matter really. So we're sitting up straight. Spine is straight and tall. Our muscles are relaxed. Eyes are open, resting on a spot in front of you. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath.
So yeah, this practice gets a little easier as you do it more. And some days it'll be easier, and some days it'll be harder. And there's a lot of reasons for that. There's a lot of causes and conditions that go into whatever our minds like on any given day. And so, so don't worry about that. Don't judge yourself when you have a difficult day of practice. We really shouldn't. It's kind of, we just don't, you just don't really judge yourself after your practice. You don't say, oh, I had a good day of practice, or I had a bad day of practice. You just continue. And when you have, if you find yourself like, if you're really struggling to meditate, then the only takeaway, Jetsama says, the only takeaway we should have from that is just, this is my habit. That's all it is. This is my habit. And then you just continue with the practice. And you just understand that it's difficult because your habit is to not do this. Your habit is to have your mind be a mess and running the show and controlling you instead of you controlling it. So that's your habit. It's hard to change our habits. That's all. It's just, that was your habit. You're in the process of changing it. You just continue. It doesn't mean like you don't have hope. There's no hope for you. You'll never get this. You will. You will. I promise. If you just try, you'll get it too. Slowly, it gets easier. And so we're just going to do this one last time. Came to meditation class, so I hope you want to meditate. So we have our straight back. Thank you. Our straight back, relaxed body. Our eyes are open, gently focused on a place in front of us. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath.
So, so I hope you'll practice this meditation. It's very easy to do anytime. You can do this even when you're just sitting in a waiting room somewhere or on the bus or, even just for a moment, when before you get out of your car to go to work or something, just take a moment and put some space in your mind, and it'll better prepare you to face whatever comes that day, and to face your mind throughout the day. And this is so important to do this. And this is why, like, Jetsam has created this space here, this prayer room that's open every day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for anyone to come and just rest your mind, come and reconnect with your heart, rest your mind. Just, you can come here and do that anytime. And this is why she builds the koi ponds. We have beautiful koi ponds outside, again, as a place for us to relax and rest our minds. Our minds are so wound up all the time. So formal meditation like this is very helpful. And also you can also just sit by the koi ponds and just rest your mind on the movement of the koi under the water. You can you can rest your mind. You don't have to rest your mind on your breath. You can do the same meditation on putting your attention on a flower or a crystal or a candle or an image of the Buddha, or you could rest your mind on the surface of the water at the koi pond, or out in the Peace Park, meditate with the trees, put your attention on a leaf or something, or a flower. But we should take the time to do this. It is so important to rest our minds and to stabilize our minds. And we have so many things that feel important and feel urgent in our lives. And there's not really anything outside of us that's going to tell us that this is important and this is urgent, other than your teachers up here saying this is important and this is urgent. And then whatever you tell yourself, that you remind yourself. Everything else in your life is going to say, this isn't important. You need to be sending emails right now. You need to be driving somewhere. You need to be running errands. You need to be, answering your phone. You need to be doing stuff. And it's up to you to hold the line and say, no, this is more important. Yeah, scrolling. You should be scrolling your phone right now. You should probably be sharing something on Facebook right now. It's very important. So it's up to you to remind yourself, this is more important. If you like the endless scroll of social media, you'll love the endless scroll of your mind. It's endless.
3 acres and we have a knife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want to try the running version, we do have acres. Please do not harm yourself on our property. Just be committed to your practice. And then also this practice in our meditation, this muscle that we're building when we notice and we've strayed from the breath and then bringing ourselves back. It's so important that we build this muscle, because then in our daily lives, this is the muscle that we use, the muscle of mindfulness, to notice when we've strayed from our path, to notice when we've gotten distracted, when we've fallen under the sway of hatred, greed, ignorance, pride, or jealousy, when we're noticing when we've lost the view, noticing when we've become lazy or arrogant or self-absorbed, noticing when we've forgotten how precious the Dharma is and the rare opportunity that we have in this life. As soon as we find ourselves we notice that we're taking this for granted, just anytime you notice yourself getting distracted, bring yourself back. And we should learn to notice when we've lost our focus and immediately bring ourselves back to the bodhicitta, to right view, to right conduct, and for the sake of all sentient beings. This is what we do to start our day. Just notice, bring it back. Notice, bring it back. You don't have to create stories about yourself. I'm such a terrible person. I always do that. Oh, I always lose my temper. I'm so terrible. That's okay. Now you're self-absorbed. Like, don't practice that. Just drop it. You just let it go. You see it and you make a different choice. You just let go of the anger and bring yourself back to bodhicitta, and what is right. So yeah, so I hope you do this practice. I hope it helps you. And I think at the end we do a meditation here on Chenrezig.
So on Sunday mornings, typically we do this in English. So home
In the northwest country of Haryana, born in the pollen heart of a lotus, endowed with the most marvelous spiritual attainments, you are renowned as the lotus born, surrounded by a retinue of many dakinis. Following in your footsteps, I pray to you, please come forth and grant your blessings. Pema Siddhi Hom. Om Ahom Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hom. Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 universal monarchs. Your 1,000 eyes, the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate age. You who teach each and every one of us according to our needs, Lord Avalokiteshvara, to you I pay homage. This virtue may swiftly accomplish the state of Chenrezig, and may all sentient beings without exception be placed in that very state. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms.
That was terrific. So much good information and advice for our practice. So when we have a teaching like this, it's always important to know that you can make an offering, and we have boxes by the end, or baskets by the end, by the door, and you can make an offering if you'd like. And also, I wanted to let you know that we're still having a drive for, is this correct? Drive to Salon. So we're still having a drive for food and clothing for those in need, and there's a flyer on the table back there where you can do a QR code and make a donation. And I don't know if we have any.
Oh, Linda's bringing some peppermint brownies.
Oh, okay. So please stay for a little snack as well. I don't know if we have any other announcements.
The event in Sedona. There's the event in Sedona.
What's that?
The event in Sedona.
Yeah, so if you're traveling out west or happen to know someone in Arizona, we're going to be having a special event with Temple website. On December 27th, 8th, and 9th.
26, 27, 28. Yeah.
27. Yep, sure.
Yeah.
26, 27, 28, right after Christmas. We'll be at the Amidst Stupa. So please, if you know anyone out there, encourage them to go because it'll be wonderful. There'll be practices at the stupa and also a special teaching that he'll be giving while there's an opportunity for questions and answers. Okay.
And then New Year's Eve here.
And we'll have yes, on New Year's Eve, just before the clock strikes 12. What?
I think it starts like 11:15.
Yeah.
You start, yeah.
We'll be having a special time here in the prayer room. So please join us. We'll be doing some practices to welcome in the new year and set our intentions for the new year, which we all need to do. And yeah, hopefully it'll be a better year.
You said 12 a.m. Right before 12 a.m.
Yeah, it starts at 11:15.
Yes, and we'll all here.
Lovely
Yeah.
practice, really, in the past.
And we'll be lighting candles.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I mean, it's way better than some of the other things we've done. Okay. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
Thank you.